Sports are a wonderful thing, which is why many of us are sad with what is going on in the world right now, as we want to have the joy of sports in our lives once more. But while we can't have new things, we can go and remember some of the best moments in sports that were beautiful, respectful, and more. Number 10, Novak Djokovic and the ball boy. Sometimes a very beautiful moment isn't one that is played out or expected, but rather one that is spontaneous. A great example of this was during a tennis match when legendary player Novak Djokovic was sitting down while a bit of rain was falling on the area. The nearby ball boy, as was his job, went over to Novak and put an umbrella over him to keep him dry. But doing this made it so that the ball boy was getting wet. Novak noticed this and not only motioned for the kid to come over to be under the umbrella himself, he had him sit down next to him and even put his arm around him in respect to show that he's got his back. To top it all off, Novak swapped the umbrella in the kid's hand for a tennis racket, and the smile on that kid's face said it all. Not to mention the crowd absolutely loved the display by Novak. Oh, and then they had a drink together. Classy. Number 6, the kid in the photo. This one was very much a kind moment that didn't need to happen, but shows the caliber of the player who did it. Lionel Messi is one of the best soccer players in the world and often has players swarming him. One time a kid noticed him about to enter a building and tried to get a picture with him, but the nearby security stopped him and almost literally dragged him away. When Messi saw this, he called out to the security to bring the kid back so that the picture could indeed be taken. Though the kid was still slightly shaken because of the forceful nature of the guards, Messi's picture no doubt calmed him down, and as if this wasn't enough, right after the event happened, he was interviewed by reporters. So yeah, what could have been a bad moment for sports in general turned out to be a very heartwarming moment. Number 5, right in the gut. Sometimes accidents happen in the field of play in sports that can't be foreseen or even expected. On a tennis pitch, a missed ball by a player bounced in such a way that it went full speed and hit the ball boy in the gut. As it was going pretty fast, the kid was in understandable pain to the extent that he started to cry. When the player, who missed hitting the ball, realized what was happening, he went over to the kid and tried to cheer him up. He was successful and the crowd cheered him for the effort that was put in by him. Lest you think that the boy was a wimp, please remember that tennis balls are hard and can be launched at incredibly high speeds. Even with a bounce, I doubt you would have shrugged off that hit. Trust me. Number 4, bird in the hand. Believe it or not, birds have a very interesting history in sports in general, mainly because they keep seeming to interfere when it's incredibly unexpected, such as the time a bird flew in front of a baseball as it was being thrown by a pitcher and its feathers exploded off the body. But in this story, it has a more heartwarming ending. While playing soccer one time, a couple of seagulls got onto the field, and when one of the players tried to pass the ball, the bird got hurt. The refs stopped the match because of this, and the players were wondering what was going on and what to do. Eventually, the goalkeeper cradled the bird in his hand and subsequently took it off the field for it to heal and rest. Sure enough, the seagull did recover and even got some screen time. Number 3, LeBron and the Olympian. LeBron James is often a hot topic when it comes to the NBA. People talk about his career, how he compares to Michael Jordan, his legacy as an all-time great, and so on and so forth. But what people often choose to forget, is that he's incredibly kind when it comes to the next generation and those in need. He's set up numerous charities, schools, and more in order to try and make life better for others. He also shows appreciation when he can, such as in one game where he went and congratulated a Special Olympian who was on the sideline of one of his games. It was right in the middle of the game when he noticed him, but it didn't matter. He went right over and talked to the kid. What really cements this as a moment, though, was that the kid was dressed in Boston Celtics gear. And though LeBron isn't beloved in Boston, he got applause from the crowd for being kind to the kid. Number 2, David Beckham's goodbye. There's few things harder than saying goodbye, and for a player who knows it's his time to go, there's nothing harder than getting through that last game and knowing you won't be playing again. This is indeed what happened to legendary soccer player David Beckham, whose football career is very well documented. As he ended his run in his long career, he couldn't help but cry in regards to what he was feeling on the inside. Can you blame him? The players, the coaches, everyone went to David and hugged him, thanked him. The crowd gave him a standing ovation in appreciation for all that he had done for the game. Number 1, miracle on ice. Going now to one of the most important moments in the history of sports, we talk about the USA-Russia hockey game at the 1980 Olympics. The United States were supreme underdogs going up against a dominant Russian force of hockey players. The game is legendary to this game, but what makes it a beautiful yet respectful moment was when the US won, it was universally cheered. Even the Russians acknowledged that they had won a clean game and that this was the US victory to be celebrated. Watching the players jump for joy as they had beaten the unstoppable was a treat to watch, and given what it meant for America at the time, stands as one of the most beautiful, rewatched, retold, and every other word you can think of stories of time, including being made into a Disney movie starring Kurt Russell. And you don't get much more beautiful than a Disney movie. So there you go, a look at some of the most beautiful and respectful moments in sports history. Which of these moments made you smile or tear up? Do you have another moment that should have been on this list? Let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time on the channel.